And why do I wear a bunch of I think they're DC buttons on my punk gear? Well, it's nice you noticed that. I told you that. Well, nowadays I wear them because I don't have any other buttons. My house went through a fire, and man, I had the most authentic punk rock buttons you could ever want. I had a square paper Ghouls Night Out. I had all Bobby Steele's, all the bands I ever played with. If you remember, once upon a time, I was nothing but buttons. But from a distance, I mean, that's what punk rock is exactly, homie. You use what you have. It brought me right back to the initial days of being a fucking wannabe and a poser. You use what you have, you know. I think that's cute. You notice that, but it looks pretty fucking punk rock, doesn't it? You know, I figure this is good for now. I like these things. I'm not really a big comic book guy, but I mean, I could have been. I just don't. You know, my friends were, and I appreciate that shit. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's about, man. You use what you have to make an image, you know? Like if you were on a movie set, exactly, and you needed a punk guy, and it's like, well, we don't have any punk rock buttons. It's like, you don't need any, man. Just get a bunch of, nondescript ones, and they look just as cool. I mean, superheroes look cool. Why not? The one button I got looks like Salem, and then there's Captain America. Classic shit. Yeah, but you don't need all the. You figure it out when you get older. You know, you go through phases. If you ever go through a fucking fire, you'll find out what I mean. And I hope you don't. But if you do, you might lose all your authenticity in that fucking fire, just like I did. I lost half my clothes, all my punk rock shit. Guitars got wasted. My Telecaster neck bent. Everything got fucked up. I lost my whole stereo. I spent like fucking quite a bit of time putting together the 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 quintessential home entertainment center. You know, I had a Sony that was about 125 watts per channel with floor wedges, big 15 inches with horns in them. Plus, I had pseudo quad stereo layout of cheaper speakers, instrument speakers that you used to be able to go to Radio Shack and buy for $25 a piece. And it was loud and it was clear, man. And it took me my whole life to get that motherfucker. The floor wedges were for some club. I got them on a Craigslist. And the neighbors, they were cool, but they would let me know. They'd be like, that stereo is so fucking loud. And when Dave moved out, I put a big or it looked like a Galan, but I put a big subwoofer in the bottom, but it kept frying the stereo. It kept resetting the stereo. So it was great. I had subwoofers for a short time underneath the floor that would just throb and make you, a little bit queasy. You'd be like, ooh, this is loud. I mean, you'd be surprised how loud 250 watts is at pure volume. And it was great. It was great. Now I'm back to little Bluetooth, 2-inch tweeter Bluetooth shits, and that's my stereo now. I have a 15 watt in there that's pretty good, but I mean, you walk 10 feet away from it, it's got no speaker distribution whatsoever. If you're sitting close to it, you're like, yeah, this is loud, this is good. You get up and walk away. It's just like having a 30-watt amp. It's like, yeah, it's loud enough and shit, 50, 80 watts, whatever, but it doesn't have speaker dispersion, like sound dispersion. So I'm back where I started. It's okay with me. There'll be others. I mean, there was a time when I was pressing my own buttons too. It's just a shadow. Yeah, all I have to do is sit down and order the kit again, and get some laser print, and send away for that and make buttons. But I think they look cool. If I showed up at a club, you wouldn't think twice. You'd be like, yeah, that's an old school motherfucker. You use what you got. You see all my jewelry here? You probably see it. It's shit I get off the street. This rubber bracelet, little rings. I find if they match my fingers, if they're rubber or cheesy metal, I'll put them on my finger. Keep them. If I can get a little lock or a little vice grip at the store, I'll grab it and put it on my shit. You know, Safety pins nowadays are more of a necessity than they ever were a fashion thing. But and lighter tops, just like the old punk rockers. If you got a cheap lighter, the top comes off. You take the metal piece and you put it on the collar of your shirt. Anything to be obsessed with shiny objects and make it a point known. It was like that. It was like hobo markings in the day. If you saw a punk rocker and he had lighter tops on his leather jacket or on his shirt, you pretty much knew right away how he was coming. He was a dirty motherfucker, you know. And I'm still doing that. I'm still doing that. It's there's all different faces of it. You appreciated that, so that's my favorite shirt. It's my favorite outfit. It's punk as hell, isn't it? And it looks good. You can look good on a shoestring. You can look or you can look unique. The shoes I wear, I got them I'm back where I started. Exactly. The shoes, my favorite shoes, I don't lace them up because they look goofy if you do. But I got them from down the street. They're just sitting there. I picked them up, smelled them. I'm like, okay. These are okay. They're not the greatest boots in the world, but they look good. But that's what it's about. You know, you're a tramp, especially if you're living it like I am now. I'm so trampy, it's not even funny. But I don't mind. I don't mind. It keeps you creative,